You think of Tom Brady saying that the NFL has become glorified college football?
Well, it's been an extension of college football. We have to realize that pro football and how pro football has been established is kind of, it's the top of the food chain. It's the best coaches. It's the best players. You're finally being compensated for being able to play the game. And the game was so different than almost all the college systems. There was a few teams that ran an I formation: Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Alabama. Some of those big schools, they played a bruising style. That's why a lot of their players, not only because they have more talent, but because that style would transition more to pro football. Pro football coaches now and executives have gotten a lot smarter. They realize that the game is changing. The college game, kids don't have the skill to drill deep comebacks and throw the ball way down the seams and everything, and especially with the hash mark. So they're challenged as far as talent. So what do? They throw the ball sideways. It's a lot easier. They run a lot of sweeps. They do a lot of motions, things like that, to make offensive productivity a lot easier. NFL executives have finally swallowed their pride and realized what they're doing at college, man, that could really help. That could transition to the pro game. Because we always just talk about, man, this guy wins the Heisman Trophy, but he's not a good pro prospect. That doesn't happen too much anymore now because pro people are looking at the college game. Kurt Herbstreit said last week that this offseason, 28 of the 32 NFL teams went to Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley to be able to study his offense. Yes. Lincoln Riley kind of downplayed it and said, they're here to look at my players, but he has the hot offense. He is kind of the Sean McVay after taking over for Bob Stoops there at Oklahoma. So it's different than what Chip Kelly was doing because the passing game is far more sophisticated. So what Tom Brady is saying is actually true, that you will see more mirrored football on Sundays now than you've ever seen on Saturdays. So now if you're a college fan and a pro fan, you're seeing a lot of the same product both days.
The NFL is the most conservative league of our major American sports leagues. They're the most hesitant to change of any of our major American sports leagues. But what we've seen across, let's talk about basketball. We've seen a revolution in basketball in the last 10 years, a three-point analytics revolution. We've seen a revolution in baseball over the last 5 years, a shifting bullpen.
Launch angle,
all
home runs. Let's go for it.
A revolution analytically. We're seeing I wouldn't call it a revolution yet, but we're seeing an adjustment in the NFL where it was just taken for granted, oh, that can't work here. Why can't it work here? Because we're the NFL. Well, maybe it can
Yeah, I think
here.
You can go to the extreme, Nick, because we just had a package of information sent to us. The NFL sends Nick and I a package of information every week, and the numbers are just jarring. So we just can't say, oh, it's in a cycle. They've changed the rules. They've enforced the rules. It's going to be a very, very offensive. So I would say that the NFL now is in that revolutionary change that all these other sports went through.
And I'll add another element to it. They're letting a different type of guy play quarterback in the NFL these days. They are not as implicitly biased against the mobile, maybe. So we have Deshaun. You got Patty Mahomes. You have Baker Mayfield, who's undersized. You have guys that were considered, oh, those are great college quarterbacks. Well, let's see if they're great pro quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson goes in the first round. Let's see what they can do in the pro game.
Isn't this happening because the quarterback is changing, because the athlete is changing a little bit?
It's in sync. It's the quarterback is changing, and one of the reasons the quarterback changes is because the offense is changing.
The quarterback's not changing, all right? We're just allowing more athletic guys to play quarterback.
Yeah.
And the quarterbacking from college, we're taking some of those rules and allowing them in the NFL. So the guys who used to excel in college, they have now at least a blueprint. So when you go to an NFL locker room now, you might have 50 plays of college stuff. This guy's like, wow, I know exactly what we're doing. I know the read. So the carryover is tremendous. I believe it's only the beginning.
And it helps the quarterback with their transition, obviously,
100%.
as they get into the NFL.
Yes. Boy, that Ben is sure enough faithful. He's like a clock. I mean, Ben, several times during the season, Ben's going to give us a sure enough gem. Now, how would you like to be as a franchise player? It's not my fault. You know what? It is my fault because I played so well that the team decided to franchise me the last 2 seasons. Because that's what L. Bell, we criticize him because it's been an ugly holdout. We're tired of talking about it. But your quarterback, And the NFL says you can't lose your job, suspension, injury, a holdout? No, never. No one's ever lost their job over a holdout. Now you got your Hall of Fame quarterback. He done won a couple Super Bowls. He's saying that my playing time might be cut. Not Mike Tomlin, not the general manager. Like, if all these guys said something, it would really make sense. But it's my quarterback. And he's saying he getting ready to cut my time? Like, who gave him the authority?
I'm going to go to the principal's office and advocate for the other guy. Because the game ain't going to be 65 minutes. So Ben can try to spin it as, no, I'm just promoting James Conner. There's only so many plays to be run. There's only so many touches for a running back. And so he is saying, I am going to advocate for someone other than you. Because, there's a couple shows earlier this year C had to miss because he's calling games. Listen, hey, I'm going to go and advocate Chris Canty get more opportunities for your job. No. Man, I love Chris Canty.
Yeah, we're going to see if Chris Canty can fight.
Right. He probably looks like he can, but it's not the point.
No, you're going to have to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
No matter how much I love Canty, how great he is, you can't advocate for someone to take the job from your guy. I would feel differently if Le'Veon were missing time due to suspension. I would feel differently if he had outwardly done something that really screwed over the team, but that's not the situation here.
Okay. So that was the messenger. How about the actual message? When Le'Veon Bell does come back, is it on the table that his playing time does get split with Conner, or is it back to just being his job again?
What other franchise running back is splitting time that's demanded by the organization? None. I mean, Todd Gurley, I wish Sean McVay, he's smart. You know what he's smart? Todd Gurley's going to be out there even as a decoy. So I can understand if we're going to cut your reps, but we're going to keep you out there. We're still, because it's a system. We're going to play fake to you. We're going to have you draw some attention. Like, yes, but you don't want your quarterback. And you guys didn't know that much about me, but man, I've been covering Ben Roethlisberger his whole career. And I'm telling you, 4 or 5 times a year he does this. He is consistent. Last year, national anthem. The left tackle said, I'm an Army Reserve. I wish I could have been out there. Absolutely. You got true meaning to what you're saying. Ben was like, me too. Me too. I wanted to be out there too. They held me back. That's why I was in the tunnel. He made himself go to the tunnel so they can get a shot of him. And this is what Ben does. Very, very controversial as far as his leadership skills, and this is not necessary to tell your franchise player because the franchise you while you're off trying to get yourself a better contract like Ben has. You know what? I'm out here advocating for someone to take part of your reps when you do come back.
If we didn't have such a loaded show today as far as things to talk about, we could have done 3 segments on just things Ben said in this interview. Because he also in this interview unprompted talked about he's dealing with an elbow interview. And he said something that I bet we will talk about later this week about how he was coaching up Antonio Brown on routes. And how he told Antonio that when he stops fooling around in the route and just runs straight, he can hit him better. Big Ben knows a lot of things, and he's an excellent quarterback. I am very confident he doesn't know how to get open as a wide receiver better than Antonio Brown does. Big Ben does these weekly interviews with 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. It used to be on my friend's show. It's on the midday show now with Ron Cook and another guy, I forgot who. And like you said, every quarter, we break the season up into quarters of the season, break the season up into Ben saying things he doesn't need to say. And so, we're busting Odell over the head for saying things as a diva wide receiver young guy. Big Ben been in this league 15 years. He's the quarterback. His words carry more weight with that franchise than anyone, maybe including Mike Tomlin. And he, as far as to the media. And he's out there saying, I'm going to advocate for James Conner.
Mike Tomlin said in his press conference he don't have an L-Bell update because I'm not talking to him. Ben should have followed that script. Ben don't know what's going on. He don't know when L-Bell's going to be back there. Who gave him the authority to go say something like that? And it sets your teammates up that now when L-Bell comes back, you know what one of the first questions in the press conference? Jenna Wolfe come. I see you on a TV show playing as a reporter. Hey, L-Bell, Ben said.
It's true.
Right?
On Homeland.
Hey, oh, yeah, you saw that?
Hey, L-Bell, It's been a long holdout. Your quarterback, he's a Hall of Famer. He says he thinks you should be rotating. What you think, bruh? That's the new Jenna Wolfe. So it's going to be there.
Message received, bruh. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.